it's Antia Boyd.
And Boyd.
And we're the creators of the Magnetize The Man Summit. So really excited for you to jump right into the next interview because we have created this for you to stop attracting emotionally unavailable men, overcome your trust issue, and so much more. So you attract that right man for you that makes you feel seen, cherished, and supported.
Can't wait to see you inside the interview and get you on the path to magnetizing your man once and for all. See you there. Look forward to it.
Mwah! Hey, it's Antia Boyd with the Magnetize The Man Summit, where single, successful women crack the attraction code and live their happily ever after.
Woohoo!
Woohoo! And speaking of happily ever after, I have a wonderful fairy godmother here with me today. Pamela Vandervoort. Hi, Pamela. So two blondies together, you know.
Yeah, so watch out.
So Pamela is a dating and relationship expert. She has a bachelor's degree in communication studies and a master's degree in spiritual psychology. I love that so much. Pamela created Dating for True Love to help women date to meet their true love and create a happy, healthy, fulfilling, and empowering relationship. Guess what? In this high-tech world, that has inundated singles with so many choices, it can be hard to find a clear pathway to love. Isn't that the truth, right?
So
Pamela's
true.
proven system has helped hundreds of women find lasting love. So with that, welcome, Pamela.
Hello.
I'm so excited to have you. You're really in for a treat. She's such a gem. So today we're really talking about debunking the myth. So you can find your, the happiness and love. I always call it the happily ever after, right? Your happiness and love. And so let's talk about it. Pamela, before we go in there, I want to just quickly hear from you. Why are you so passionate about what you do? Like, what's been a little bit of your journey?
Well, I mean, I think that, my story was I was married. I had a good relationship, right? Like we were really good friends. He was a great guy. I mean, even when I was going through my divorce, everybody was like, oh, Rod's such a great guy. I mean, he really is a great guy. But in my heart, I was like, there's something more, right? There's something more. And so all my relationships had always gotten better. You know what I mean? So like, I break up with somebody, I get somebody better. I break up with somebody, I get somebody better. So then when I got divorced, all of a sudden, like I was not meeting people better at all. I was shocked at some of the men that I met and some of the crazy things that happened. And then when I was in my master's degree, right, of spiritual psychology, I decided, well, I'm going to teach what I want to learn. So I taught a workshop on conscious relationships, and it just so happened I had all these women that joined this workshop. Well, long story short, by the end, several single women found love. And meanwhile, like the second year, we would share in our class, like, oh, this is how my project's going. Oh, this is what's happening. So at the end, I stood up and I said, I want to do a project group with people who want to coach with me for a year to accomplish a goal. So like these different women come up to me and they're like, and in my mind, it's business, right? I'm like, I'm going to help, we're going to do a business. Like I now know that coaching's my thing. And so these women come to me, I want you to help me find beloved love. I'm tired of having boyfriends. I want to get married and have kids. I want to find my soulmate. And I'm going, why? Why are you guys, this is not a goal. This is a goal program. We're accomplishing a goal for a year. This is not a goal. Why are you coming to me? And they're like, but you help those other women find love. You can help me. And yes, this is my goal. I was like, this is such a different way of like looking at it. And so literally after a year, they all found exactly what they had asked for. The woman who found beloved love found beloved love. The woman who wanted to get married, had kids, had her first baby at 40. The woman who wanted to find her soulmate found somebody who was definitely being a soulmate to her. So very interesting.
Wow. It's so interesting. They always say your calling is what you're being asked for, what people come to you for, right?
Yes.
And I think there you go, right?
And what was also so interesting was that, so here's these people that came to me with these different things they wanted. You know, I'm tired of boyfriends. I want to get married and have kids. I want to have beloved love. I want to have a soulmate. And that's where I really identified true love and got really clear on what that is, right? A happy, healthy, fulfilling, committed relationship. Because what you ask for is what you're going to get.
Right. Exactly. I totally get that, you know, and so that's what we're really talking about that today, being aware of unconscious patterns, how you attract unavailable men, right? So let's dive right in, Pamela. Let's talk about it, because some women are like, I don't know what you mean with like available or unavailable. So what is an unavailable man?
So my definition of an unavailable man is anytime a man is unwilling or unable to give you the commitment that you want. So like this can be if you're married and your husband will not take out the trash, or he will golf every Saturday with his friends and not spend the day with you, he could be unavailable. If you're dating him and you're just dating and you're not making future plans and you're not meeting each other's friends and families, he's unavailable.
Yeah.
If you are dating him, things are going really well, and boom, he ghosts you, he's unavailable. If you like repeatedly attract men who constantly either ghost you or breadcrumb you or get wishy-washy, you're attracting unavailable men.
I love that. And I love that you're already making the distinctions, because those are just like subtleties that, you know, someone might not necessarily call, you know, they would give it like the benefit of the doubt or whatever. So I love that we're already starting to be, girlfriend, let's get real. Okay. And so what I love is like, let's talk about it, because you talked already about the types, but you've identified 3 levels of unavailable men.
Yeah. So there is what I call terminally unavailable man. Now this guy will never give you the commitment you want. This is the guy who's not capable, right? So he's married, he's separated, he's an addict, he's a narcissist, right? Terminally unavailable. Yeah. So many women I talk to feel like all there is out there is just all these terminally unavailable men, right? Like there's just all these men that just will never commit. But honestly, it's really a small portion, and you can find a way. And in my book, Girl's Guide to the Unavailable Man, I talk about how to avoid them. Like just never date them, spend maybe 2 dates max with them. That's it. But the majority of men are situationally unavailable man, which means that if they meet the right woman, they will commit.
Yeah.
So they may say like, oh, I don't know if I'm looking for a relationship right now, or, but a lot of times when they say that, it's because they just haven't met the right woman, or they don't perceive you as the right woman.
I love that. And I love that we're making the distinctions, that we're not putting everything in one pot, because what I find so many times is the brain tends to generalize, and you might like dismiss a guy that, you know, if you were to transform, he would actually transform. He would actually start pursuing you.
Even if you just transform the way you date.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, I mean, just transform the way you date and transform the way you communicate. That's like a huge one.
What's one way how they can transform the way they date?
Well, I mean, I have my Dating for True Love system, which I literally have the 5 stages of dating. And the first stage is casual dating. The second stage is the evaluation dating stage. And the third stage is the committed stage. And so many women don't get those first 3 stages right? So they either never casually date, and they jump right into evaluation dating. And so on the first date, they're like, so, what happened in your last relationship? Did you cheat? Or, you know, what's your job like? And they just start interviewing somebody right from like the first date.
Yeah.
And that just is a total turn off, because at the end of the day, you got to create a connection. You got to see, like, do we even have fun together?
Totally. Right. It's really like understanding like the energies, right? Because you can't even have everything on paper, but if you're like, your energies are not meshing together, then I mean, who cares what car he drives or how much money he makes, or right?
Yeah. Or if he cheated in the past, or if he, whatever it does. Yeah. You've got to be able to like have fun together.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
got to be able to like have a conversation that's like interesting and like, energizing, right?
I love that. Yeah, you have really those energies that bounce off each other, right? And you want to have that too, so that you don't have to talk to each other all the time. And Pamela, I had like one guy dated like, I don't know how many years ago, 8 years ago, and we were perfect on paper. We both studied spiritual psychology, yada yada yada. We both love sailing and so on and so forth. But it was crazy. This energy was just not there, right? So I think that's when I really understood. You better make sure that you guys have like energy that meshes well together, because you can be perfect for each other, like intellectually, but that doesn't mean that it's having anything to do with the emotions and the spiritual.
Yeah, and that's when people will spend all this time trying to make it work because it just seems like it's, it should. But then the flip side of that is when the energy's there and the chemistry's there and the attraction's there, but then you don't take the time to evaluate the person to make sure the shared values are there.
Yeah.
To make sure that, does he believe in fidelity? Is he monogamous? Is he willing to work through stuff when things get sticky? Right. So there's the flip side of like looking everything on paper. And then there's the other side of ignoring the warning signs, jumping in because of the chemistry.
Yeah, which is so great. And I really want to go into that too, because sometimes we're really misinterpreting chemistry with love, right? Like, oh my God, like that means this is love. Like I love him, right? So let's talk about that a little more, because how can a woman really start to kind of either slow herself down, or what can she start paying attention to that like help her a little bit? Because of course when the hormones are running high, it is hard, it's challenging, right? It's like this inner animal is running you, it's much older than you, it's much more wisdom than you, and it knows you much better than yourself. But what do you do in those moments?
Well, I mean, and that's why, with my system, like people have to literally go through these steps. Like you're forced to go through these steps. And the biggest mistake that women make is that when they feel like the chemistry's there, when they feel like the guy looks good on paper, they have what I call the imaginary relationship, where they start to attribute characteristics to him that they want to see. So you're like, Kate Hudson did that movie, How to Lose a Guy in 7 Days. Like
I love 10 days. Yes.
Or 10 days. Yeah.
I love that movie.
I always recommend that movie because it's a total example of somebody doing that. Like she has the scrapbook with the kids and the matching, clothes, and like how many people do that in their mind? You jump way ahead, way ahead in their mind, right? So I have some tools like ask questions that inspire honesty. So at a certain point, like in my evaluation dating stage, you have to start asking some questions.
Yeah.
And then you have to ask it with an anything you say is okay attitude. So if you say like, how do you feel about monogamy? And he's like, well, actually, I don't believe that humans are meant to be monogamous and that we're truly animals at heart. And like, we need to have multiple partners. Like if you flip out and go, oh my God, that's disgusting. I can't even believe you feel that way. Da, da, da. A guy who maybe doesn't have the most integrity could be like, oh, that was the old me. I am totally not that way anymore. That was just who I used to be, to avoid conflict. And then like 6 months later, you catch him on Ashley Madison or Friend Finder or whatever, and you're like, oh my God, I can't believe it. Well, if you think back,
you can actually very much believe it, right?
You think about it, you did have the clue that this is what he was into.
Yeah, absolutely. And I want to backtrack a little bit, Pamela, and talk about how to inspire unavailable man to commit? When we're talking about an unavailable man who's able to commit, right? Who's one of the lower levels that you talk about.
Situationally, yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
So, well, I'll first talk about the ways that you don't inspire men to commit. Okay. So one of the things that I see women do is like they do that chameleon thing. You know, like I always talk about Jennifer Aniston, which is so ironic because now she and Justin are getting a divorce, right? Or divorced or whatever. It's like when she started going out with him, all of a sudden she's wearing like the fedora hat and
Right.
she's wearing the boots, you know, and she's like matching his kind of urban whatever style.
Right.
But like now they're divorced today because she's a beach girl who actually is more of a like flowy dress, barefoot. And he's like, I'm into New York and my New York lifestyle.
Right.
So she did the whole chameleon thing to try to like be the girl that would fit with him.
Yeah.
But that wasn't who she was. And look, they couldn't work it out.
No.
So being a chameleon, and like we all have that friend, right? That girl that every time she's with a guy, all of a sudden she's like, I'm into going to the shooting range. Or she's like, I love to golf. And you're like, I love to hike. And you're like, you hate sweating. What are you talking about? You know?
Oh, that's so funny. Oh my gosh, you're so right about that. Totally.
I've had clients that are like, well, everybody on their profiles say that hiking is a big thing. So should I put like, I love hiking? And I'm like, do you like hiking? No, I hate sweating. Then don't put that you like hiking. I actually don't like being outdoors because it really interferes with my hair. I'm like, you are not going to be a good fit for the guy that wants the outdoorsy girl.
Right.
Don't put it, you know? So that's a mistake. Another mistake is like being too hypervigilant. So you never want to make that mistake again. Right? So you go into dating of like, I want to see the warning signs now.
Mm-hmm.
I never want to make that mistake. And that just is such a repellent. So any guy who could be interested in you is never going to get through that defense to really ever get to know you.
Oh, yeah, that's such a good point. And that's also, you start to attract it over and over again, right? Because we talked about it in the beginning when you said you project onto what you expect to see. So if you're now hypervigilant and you're looking for somebody who's maybe not telling the truth or whatever your wound is, then now you'll be like, actually, you just didn't tell the truth. You had red wine instead of white wine, or like, you know what I mean? Something crazy like that, right?
Totally.
It's so
totally.
Absolutely.
And then the other thing is like being the cool girl, right? Like, oh, stay out all night with your friends and don't call me. That's totally fine. Oh yeah, let's go to the strip club. I love that. You know, like, oh, sure. Let's, you know, just like trying to be so cool that you want to be the cool girl. Because then honestly, like he'll always just put you like in the friend zone, and he won't put you in that position of like, I want to earn her respect. Like I find her to be of value.
Yeah.
I'm inspired by you.
Yeah, right. Absolutely. I love that you say that, because when I was dating, you know, I was dating my whole life before I met my husband, right? I was never in a relationship. And because I was always like Mrs. Cool. And like sometimes guys would tell me that too. So I really resonate with the third one you mentioned. And I was just kind of like, you know, I mean, I was sarcastic, making a little condescending comment here and there, but it was all just, you know, and I didn't realize, right, like what I was doing, you know. And so really, I love that you talk about that, because I think so many women don't get that they're sending slight condescensions toward men, and why would they be attracted to someone who condescends them?
Or even like tries to be like one of the guys, you know, and just is like, oh yeah, just, you know, it's great. Sure, stay out all night with your friends. Fine. You know, then they're never going to feel like, oh wow, if I really want to have her, like if I really want her to be my partner, I need to show up in this quality way.
Right. Exactly.
So those are just some of the things, you know, not to do. And of course, the main thing, and what I teach and what my kind of system is about, is like date for the relationship, not the man. So you have your true love, right? You have your ideal relationship, which ultimately the women I work with, you know, it's a happy, healthy, fulfilling, committed, empowering relationship. But then it can be a little bit deeper based on your values and stuff. But then you have this vision of your true love.
Mm-hmm.
And you date for true love, and you are committed to your true love relationship, and you just invite him to come along, right?
Right.
I met you, and, you know, we're having fun. Oh, great. We're in sync. We have chemistry, you know. Now we've gone through the evaluation stage where, you know, I find out that we have similar values, but, you know, this is my vision. This is true love. So every step of the way, you can join me as my partner on this path to this amazing relationship. Or if it's not for you, awesome. I respect you. I respect the time we had together. It's been beautiful knowing you, you know, but obviously we don't share the same values. Goodbye, and let him go. And when you have that, the whole scarcity thing goes away, because before you know it, like a week later, you'll meet somebody else. And then, oh my gosh, he'll be like one step closer. But when you try to make him the guy and you focus on the man and trying to get the relationship with the man, you push him away. You start attributing characteristics to him that you don't have. And then even if you do get him, you don't want him, because 70% of divorces are filed by women.
See, isn't that interesting? I love that little statistic right there, right? And you say, like, in your ebook, you talk about debunking the myth, right, of the unavailable man. So I really want to, like what do you mean by that? You know, what's your definition?
The myth is like that all the good ones are not taken, that all the men out there are narcissists or addicts or liars or cheaters, that they're all terminally unavailable, that if you look at the dating pool, oh my God, 70% of them are terminally unavailable, you know. It's actually, no, there's a small portion that are terminally unavailable. They show up a lot. So I always talk about this too, like the narcissists, you know, they're going to approach you. You're going to reject them. They're going to persevere.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to seem like they're reading your mind. They're going to like connect with you on the first date on this deep level. You're going to have a 10-hour date with them. You're going to be like, no, they're going to be like, but you're so special. They're going to wear down all your defenses, and then they're going to go away.
Right.
But the good guys don't act like that. They don't act like that. So you have to actually get to know them a little. You have to actually give them some. If you're like, oh no, I just couldn't. No, I'm sorry. I just couldn't go out with you. They're going to be like, oh, okay. All right. Well, thank you. It was nice to meet you. They're not going to be like, baby, you know, we have something special and that you should absolutely go out with me. They're not going to wear you down. They're not going to use the wear you down technique. Quality men are not going to do that because they actually respect you.
And I also feel they respect themselves too, right? When I met my husband, he feels like he's the gift to the world. It's hilarious, right? Like, no, seriously, he's like, he teaches men that. And it's like the energy of it, right? So that would not even come into his mind, right? To like having to convince a woman. It's like, I'm the gift to you, so take or leave it. You know what I mean? Like, I'll go to somebody else. I'm their gift, you know? And so,
yeah, like real self-esteem.
Real self-esteem, right? Like the intrinsic self-esteem versus the extrinsic self-esteem.
Yes. Which the narcissists get from pursuing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. And as long as all goes like their way, right? It's all good. And I don't know if you watched The Bachelorette, but you know, I forgot this whatever this guy's name is. But it was this one guy, and he's like a model, and he when she sent him home, he was totally shocked. And I said, of course he's shocked. He's a narcissist. So in his world, everything was going well. He said he had the time of his life. So he just missed the point that she didn't have the time of her life, you know? Yeah. So that's like such a typical sign of a narcissist. So yeah. Awesome. But I could chat more and more with you, Pamela. We're already at the end. So for the women who are just like, gosh, we just kind of got our mouth a little watery, you know, but I need to know way more, and tell me more about the levels and the steps and all of that you talked about. Like tell them more about
well, it's all in my book. So if you get my book, The Girl's Guide to the Unavailable Man, Debunking the Myths So You Can Find Happiness in Love, I take you through the steps. I take you through the 3 levels of the unavailable men. I take you through how to avoid the terminally unavailable men. I take you through how to empower the right man to commit. I talk about communication skills. So it's all there in my book. And I have a quiz, Are You a Magnet for the Unavailable Man, that you'll have an opportunity to take so that you can really see if you're having a pattern of repeatedly attracting the wrong guy, so that you can break that pattern once and for all and start really attracting a quality man and date him in a way that he wants to, come along for the ride to true love, right? And share that with you.
Yes, awesome. And ladies, for that, the link is below. So go ahead, click on that, and you get the book, you get to the quiz. Yep. So awesome. Well, thank you so much for being here today, Pamela. And do you have any go away nuggets, like any golden nugget you want to leave with the ladies today?
So my nugget would be that everybody can find love, and everybody can create true love. So not just have like a codependent relationship where you kind of got one foot out the door, but you don't want to leave, and all the relationships that you look around and see all your friends have and you're like, I don't want that. Mm-hmm. Everyone can really have true love, but it takes a little bit of work. Just like any high quality, amazing thing that you have in life. It doesn't come easily.
Right.
It's possible. You absolutely can have it, and everybody can have it, but you have to do things a little differently than you've been doing. You have to be willing to learn, but it is absolutely 100% possible for everyone.
I love that, Pamela. It was so true that it's not like, well, I'm special. It's not possible for me. It's possible for everybody else on this planet, but I'm special.
Yeah.
So I love that you say that, because it's really all about understanding, it's why is it possible for you? It is possible for you, right?
And no matter what your past, like I know a lot of people that I end up working with feel like they're damaged goods, or that they've been through all of this relationship trauma and they just can't get over it. Mm-hmm. You can.
Yeah, totally.
Your past does not dictate your future, especially if you learn the tools and how to change it. You can.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that it is about having the right tools. And one thing we always say is like dating is a skill. It's not something that somebody's born with, somebody's not. You can totally learn it. So thank you so much for communicating that, Pamela. And for the ladies out there, I'll talk to you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Was that absolutely delicious? We just love how every single expert has those juicy pieces of wisdom for you to enjoy. Look, if you want to own the entire Magnetize the Man series, we invite you to get our Magnetize the Man VIP All Access package. Not only will you own the entire video series, but also you will get our Magnetize the Man Masterclass that teaches you the 3-step formula, step by step, on how to attract the right man for you. You also get some other juicy secret trainings and a one-on-one call with me where we personalize your individual journey to attract that right man for you as soon as possible. So look, to get that, click the link below that says get access now, and you get it all. Own the entire series, including all the juicy bonuses, well worth over $1,400 for nearly the fraction of the cost. All right, we will see you in the next interview.
See you soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Mwah.
Mwah.